15% or more.
If the failed Christmas Day bombing of Northwest Delta Flight 253 showed us anything, it's that it appears not everybody in the United States intelligence community is on the same page. And if that's a news flash, where have you been? A few days after the incident, President Obama voiced his displeasure with the fact that nobody connected all the dots before an attack which could have killed hundreds of Americans. With us now, we'll have both sides of the political equation. First, the Texas Republican Congressman McCaul. Congressman McCaul is the ranking member of the House Subcommittee on Intelligence, Information Sharing, and Terrorism Risk Assessment. Sir, it's great to see you. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you.
Fair to say that we didn't learn to connect the dots in the administration that was in power during 9/11. We haven't learned now, and we need to do something. Do you have a sense of what that something is?
Well, I mean, so many years after 9/11, that was the issue, connecting the dots. And I want to hear from the President this afternoon as to why these dots weren't connected and what were those dots that weren't connected. I think we have a lot more work to do on this issue. And this should not be a partisan issue, I should say. But I hope this administration
is going to... It's being used as a partisan issue. I mean, there's no doubting.
I really hope this administration will come to the Congress and work with us, because since the Hassan case, I've seen a pattern of withholding information from members of Congress on the relevant committees. Like in the Hassan case, we could not even get a briefing on the suspect and his ties to terrorism. In this matter, we have yet to receive briefings on the issues. We have an oversight responsibility. We can provide help to this administration and resources and authorities that could fix the problem, but we need to know where the problem began in the first place. I think the fact that the State Department, the cable that you referenced earlier, that warned that this man was in touch with extremists in Yemen, the fact that his visa, his American visa, was not automatically revoked raises serious, serious questions about national security.
Should heads roll here, and if so, where do they start?
I think accountability is important in any administration, and I think the President needs to look at who made the mistakes here and take appropriate action.
Is it too early for you as a congressman to say, here's somebody who we think ought to pay and pay now?
We haven't, that's my concern. We have not been briefed on this matter. We're going to have hearings on the Homeland Security Committee later this month, but when you have a Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security saying that the system worked, when clearly the system failed here. Should she
have to go in the way that Brownie had to go? Good job, Brownie.
I think
doing a heck of a job, Brownie.
I think we need to take a serious look at this failure and what role she may have played in this. I think we need to look at the fact that the system did not work. It failed. He got on the airplane, and it was really by sheer luck that this device malfunctioned and didn't kill 300 people bound for the United States.
Did we learn one more thing about al-Qaeda out of all this, Congressman? And I wonder if you thought about it in this way. The attempts that we've seen since the attacks of 9/11 seem to say that what we're dealing with now, at least at this lower sort of operational level, is a bunch of bumbling idiots. And that maybe we don't need to be, maybe we should be thankful that people did the right thing there in the last minute, which the people always seem to do, and that the people trying to knock us out are pretty stupid.
It's in some ways kind of a ragtag team, but it's a very dangerous ragtag team. And we're seeing a lot more homegrown extremists popping up in the United States. Again, we hear about the successes like the Zazi case in New York, but when it comes to the failures, this administration will not fully brief Congress and work with us to provide a solution and a fix to the problem.
It's interesting that that's the same complaint that the Democrats made over and over and over again during the last administration, and I wonder if it's not a big problem with our overall politics, and not so much with either party, but just really, quite frankly, with both of them.
I think these agencies need to coordinate better, as we said, since 9/11. Chemical explosives, Ramzi Youssef, when he was arrested in Islamabad, World Trade Center had 12 baby dolls with chemical explosives. He was going to blow up 12 airliners. This is not a new idea. It's their playbook, and they always go back to their playbook, as they obviously did on Christmas Day.
It would appear you're exactly right on that. Michael McCaul, Republican of Texas, on the committee that oversees all of this. Sir, good luck. Thanks very much, and let us know when you get that briefing.
Thanks so much.
All right, we'll get the Democrats' perspective on all this in just a minute. As with all issues political, there are two sides.